Yeah, so there's something called a manager's discount. How about I knock off 70% off?
Yo, what the? Okay, I'm gonna just wrap this up with you real quick.
Justin and I have been friends for a very long time, and he did talk to me about wanting to do a film with me in it, and we just didn't know what it was, and he had this idea like in his basket for a while now, and when we were kind of going back and forth on ideas, it's like, okay, well, what kind of store can we do for this film? And I was like, why don't we just do a beauty supply store? Because that's what my parents had. So I grew up in South Sacramento, and we had an African American beauty supply store growing up. So I was like, oh, why don't we just do that? But his dad actually owned a shoe store, and it was during the riots, so it was just an easier transition for that. The LA riots didn't. How old was I at the time? Like 4 years old, maybe. So I was kind of young during it, but I do remember hearing a lot about it. I don't think it affected Sacramento as much, but it affected like a lot of our friends out in Oakland. So even though it was in LA, that racial tension did build up a lot, especially like the African American community and Korean community. Because we were watching a lot of our friends out in LA, their businesses were being destroyed, and there was just a lot of like misunderstanding and hate that was going between those two communities. My perception of what an Asian American person was growing up as a kid is different from what the rest of the world saw. I think California is a very diverse place, specifically Sacramento. Sacramento is incredibly diverse. So a lot of this like racial persecution that everybody else felt, I didn't. My high school, honestly, it was half African American. The other percent was like Asian, Mexican, and there was like 2% white. And we actually had a chart in our high school that showed the percentages of our ethnicities, and it was literally that small. So I never felt a lot of the stuff that other people felt. So for me, like in this film, like what I was just representing was what I grew up with, what I wanted to be. Like the Daniel character wanted to be a musician. I wanted to be a musician growing up. You'll also see that thing in Asian families where if you have an older brother, he's usually your parental figure versus your older brother. Your older brother can ground you. He can send you to your room, tell you to do your homework, and that's how that relationship was. So the character that you actually saw, that Justin and I have, our relationship isn't brother to older brother. It's actually the relationship I had with my father. So my dad didn't understand what I wanted to do, and I also didn't understand his heart. So he wants the best for me, but at the same time, what he thinks the best for me isn't something that I want for myself. And because I'm doing things on my own accord without conferring with him and what he wants, it comes off as very selfish. So it's just two people that don't understand each other. I think my biggest fear before going into this film was I didn't want people to watch this film and everything is great and then say, oh, everything is good, but that one YouTuber, So because there is a sort of a stigma with people who do online content because we are creating things for ourselves and we're kind of putting ourselves into this small pocket. It's like, can people see us do somebody else's work and then kill it? Because a lot of like online creators, they're so used to doing things their own way, they don't have to cater to anybody else's vision. Everything it's been a blur. Like things have been going really quick. Like I don't think that in my mind, like the first film that I do that I'm also like attached as a co-producer on, I don't think it's going to go to Sundance. Like nobody ever thinks that. I'm thinking I'm going to create this film. It's going to be very personal with my friend Justin, and if it does well, it does well. So that bucket list for the Sundance thing kind of checked a lot quicker than I expected. So I haven't been able to process everything. As of right now, I think the next step for me is to really just be an actor. Once you're on a personal space where you can create for yourselves, I'm always going to do YouTube. Like it's something that I enjoy. So I'll still be doing it. But for me as a personal challenge, I do want to go into film and acting, and then probably write my own feature next.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.